Right.
So I can say relatively confidently already, even though this is slow moving, especially because I don't know this deck that well. Um, Something's way off with his head, and I'll show the cards, right? Um, he encountered her, um, and basically, it seems like paid her some sort of compliment. Now, whatever that means to this person, it's hard to tell. And she felt immediately like there was stuff off here, but she didn't mention it to anyone. Hold on here. Yeah. Let's see here. Good golly, this is like a phone book. Yeah. So she rebuffed a compliment. And she rebuffed a compliment. She immediately knew that this person gave her the ick, and like just like didn't feel like saying anything about it. Like it was sort of just like, I don't want to be histrionic, and I don't like want to make a big deal out of anything. Plus, she also this thing right now in my ear, like too. She had a lot of good things going on that she was excited about, and she didn't want to pause to talk about something that made her worried. It genuinely made her worried. Um, and but she didn't like the next one talks about like balancing um, work and play and realistic goals and expectations, asking for help. She didn't want to ask for help because she didn't want to stop and even worry about this mother effer, you know, because she's like, I've got good things going on in my life. I'm not going to talk about this guy, no matter how much, he unsettles me, because I'm not going to let him like ruin a good time, basically. I'm not going to let it happen. And, that was a pretty significant error in judgment. Um, because the next card, and I'll show all of them, is the desire card, and the next one after that is death. He desired her to death, basically. Um, and she, she's like, I knew that he gave me the immediate blah. And I'm not clear yet on like if she knew him in other capacity, in any other capacity first. You know, uh, we can use some other deck for details, so it's a little faster moving. But she definitely wanted to use this one, and it's pretty. I get why she wanted to use this one. Hmm. Interesting. So this is the next card's about like there's an old saying, charity begins at home, right? But this card is talking about it's inverted, so it's talking about like you're willing to extend compassion to this person you view as sort of needing help, and so I think she did see him more than once, and she was like, well, he's a crazy person, right? And you've got to be kind to crazy people, and even though like her whole body was saying no, screw this crazy person, you need to take care of you, she was saying no, 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 I'm covered, this person isn't, you know so I'm going to continue to be decent to this person. Yeah, see, the next card right after that is, come on, listen to your intuition. There will be ununderstandable, like these coincidences are not, they're not explainable because because this person is showing up intentionally, right? And you really need to start being more aware and listening to, first of all, your gut that's been screaming from the beginning, and second of all, this stuff that seems like, well, I just ran into you, is bullshit, and it's bullshit. So she ran into this person several different times. Let's see here. I don't know if she knew him, before like he got crazy. Like, let's see here. Mm. She was also worried that she was being hyper vigilant because of stuff that had happened to her in the past, and she was like, I'm just being oversensitive. Just being oversensitive. You know, I'm not all that. People don't want me like that. I'm being crazy. She talked herself out of her gut instinct to be very smartly anxious around this person. Hmm. Yeah, okay, so it's talking about there came a time in their interactions where it was like the cutoff point, right? It was like, okay, right here where you're starting to go, no, I need, I've got these past experiences. with people like sort of following me around or stalking me or whatever. Oh, cat's trapped. I'm sorry, cat. I didn't know. Hold on. Sorry, I didn't know you were out there.
That's okay.
Um, so but then there comes this time right after she's like, no, I need to get over myself, like this is just my trauma, I'm talking, where there was like this cutoff point where it's like, hello, okay, it is time to be truthful about what you're seeing, even if you don't like it. Time to detach from emotionally from being like, well, I need to be nice to everybody, because that's what you want to do. We understand that that's how you even self-identify. It wasn't just like a people need to be nice. That was like an intrinsic part of who she felt, she is as like a whole human, right? And it was like, no, 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 it's time to really um, speak with very care. Like, don't overspeak, don't overshare, um, keep to direct facts, no emotional quotient, and, you know, um, start to detach so that you can make smart decisions, because right now you know you're not, and this there was a line, a point at which um she needed to make a change. I'm going to suspect the next cards are going to tell me she didn't make that change, but um there was a line that I'm trying to understand this. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Right at this cutoff time, she gets on this deck the crone in reverse, and I could be quoting a lot of stuff, but this one says, when the crone appears in the reverse position, symbolizes a need to get in touch with your shadow self. It is time to draw on the strength of your shadow and get angry. Not a rash and reactive anger, but a cold, defiant, determined anger. Someone may need to be told to take a long walk off a short pier, because if you do not tell them, they are going to continue to expect you to be meek and compliant. They may want you to feel unimportant. They may want you to believe you have no purpose. And they definitely want you to doubt yourself. It is time to be fierce and fight back. Do not be afraid. Do not give up. Needs to go to This symbolizes a need to go to war if necessary, um, to prove to yourself that you have what it takes to, get out of this situation. Okay, now I don't like this card. I don't know what this next card is, but since it fell, I didn't like it. We're going to see what it is. Okay. All right. So we can ask for, different clarifiers, but this was just her general, but because it was in a deck that I didn't know. Okay, so yeah, he's broken minded. He encountered her. She was incredibly dazzling. Um, he paid her compliments. This is just the generic story, right? He paid her compliments. Um, and she sort of brushed them off. But it's more like brush them off like, oh no, 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 I don't think so, or no, that's not true. I'm not all like that beautiful, or no, thank you. I don't want that invitation because I'm not worth it, or whatever. This sort of set in stone um, a pattern where she was initially trying to sort of be humble, but it clicked for him. Number one, that he already liked how she, appeared. And then he read this immediately, like he interpreted this as weakness rather than, and sort of a rebuffing too, but he read it as weakness in the way that it was like, oh no, 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 I'm not like that, please, too many compliments. But she also rebuffed him, right? But had she rebuffed him in a way that was like, yeah, I'm all that, get away from me, like it might have been different. But he profiled her as beautiful, an object of lust, and weak, but also as sort of turning him down. This seems to happen more than once, right? And her continuing this pattern basically, led him to want to basically desire her to death. Like he had decided that pretty early on, that if he could get his hands on her, she was prey, right? Um, then there were these times where like the deck was saying, listen to yourself, listen to yourself, listen to yourself. Um, please, you've got to listen to yourself. And then there was a line drawn in the sand where um, it was like, okay, well, now you're going to encounter him. Like, you didn't rebuff him. You didn't ask anyone for help. You didn't really tell. I don't know if I mean, we could ask details, but at this point, it was like you didn't make a big enough deal out of it. Everything in your body was screaming to make a big enough deal out of it. Um, but you didn't, and you sort of knew you should. Some of the reasons she didn't were because she was having a delightful time in her life. She didn't want, to ruin a wonderful time with this other person's nonsense. Now, the other thing that was her ultimate downfall was her regiment. The fact that she was regimented and kept to a schedule meant that he could figure that schedule out pretty quickly. And she didn't change the schedule, even though she was pretty nervous at this point. Um, she didn't change the schedule because she sort of lived by a nothing changes my schedule. Like, I've given childbirth and still gone and done XYZ, And even though like everything around her was saying, no, 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 doesn't matter. Come on now. Like, you know, of course, no victim is at fault, right? But it was just saying, her, everything in her gut and in her energy surroundings was like, hey, no, sometimes you have to make concessions. You have to be mean when you don't want to be mean, direct when you don't want to be direct, change your schedule when you don't want to change your schedule. But she didn't. And so because of that, it leads to the opposite of healing. And, basically it leads to this event with this very cold person with cruel intentions, and that launches her on an entirely new journey in life. And I would take that to mean that is the line where she went from this current life she was living in the way she was living it to her present day life in non-physical. Let me see what chat is saying before I move forward here. Okay, so that was e-bikes. Okay, let me go back here. You two talk very plainly. Now I was talking about Beaky. Yes, Beaky can. She says a lot of things very clearly. She's awesome. Power fluctuations. Okay, I'd read that. Yes, here too. Been happening all day. Glad you're here. I know the weather has been good. That's good. Either the wiring or electric company. Many had outages, but we're not affected. Good. Glad we're all here together. Me too. Oh, and then Wolf said me too. So his attack was swift. Always pay attention to your angels, but for instinct. So she did know him. She knew him visually, at least. I'm going to ask that clarifier. That inner feeling will never steer you wrong. It will save your life by listening to that inner voice. Tipping point. She realized it too late. Hi, Pix. Good, thank you. Okay, here. Um, Great, Angie. So happy to hear that. Switching up her routine would have been a good idea. Hi, Plucky. Sorry about that, Cat. You were like, hello, I'm down here. Um, Hi, and I think he felt that because she didn't change, it was meant to be. Hi, Cat. Hey, Sneak, how are you? I am doing okay. So let me show you these. I'm going to tip this down again and show you these cards just because they were a challenge for me to read. So the first one, this is him and his imbalance in his body and his mind. This is her. She was not a fire sign. However, this is how she appeared to him, right? Hot, hot, hot. And lovely as well. Um, this was inverted. This is a faith card here in this deck, but it was inverted. And so this is when we first are being approached and there being statements being made and stuff, and we're not standing up for ourselves, or drawing the line about being hit on in inappropriate ways, etc. Hold on here. This was the next card, but it was inverted, and this was about, hey man, this is a situation where you need to take, that passion that we know you have inside you, and draw some lines really fast with this person. You already feel weird. Like from the jump, you feel weird. Why are you not just feigning not just feigning kindness? You should get the heck out of here, like even just from this conversation, kind of thing. And this was like, nope, my life is too good. I'm not going to let this crap bother me. I'm not going to let it bother me. Nothing can bring me down. I'm in love. Things are good. I'm experiencing life in a happy way. So, no, I'm not going to do anything about it because I don't want to interrupt my happy flow. I'm going to try not to even think about it, even though my gut is screaming, which led immediately to this. Here's the desire card. And this eyeball here caught my attention because he, basically is a human hunter. Um, that's when he decided already. I almost never take the death card to be literal, but in this particular order, like he knew, like basically he would take great pleasure in lusting her to death, basically. This is the next card. It was this way. This is talking about all of the offerings the universe is giving you in terms of information. that it's inverted, and that's rejecting that information, even though, you know. So it wasn't like she was dumb or he was really good at being sneaky, right? This is what she wanted to be living and feeling like. So, in pursuit of being this person, she was trying to ignore everything. But this is who she was, even though she was trying, trying to enjoy being that other person. This is who she was. It's like, in the confines of this particular reading, this is like, honey, you're marked. You're marked here for this. If things don't change really soon, you're marked for this like transition. This is where we get to the last point, right? The Queen of Air. In this case, this information comes in and says, look, like, I don't know if it was information or another interaction with the person, or maybe it was mentioning to someone, or maybe hearing something completely unrelated where someone didn't know um, that like she was interacting with this person. I don't know, but this was like a place where it was like she was getting really finite information about him being no good, and this was the support card for that wisdom and listening to inner wisdom, but it was inverted like this. Sorry, somebody keeps knocking on my door.
Okay.
Okay, so yeah, so the finite information was given about that guy being not a good guy, right? And then this crone often represents like the ultimate female wisdom, right? But it was inverted. This is her regimented, organized, to a fault lifestyle. And she was getting lots of instincts, impulses, and I'm feeling like even advice from someone to change this up, or just don't do it. Don't do it for a while. And she refused to change for anyone. Um, this is the next card. This is the healing card. However, it was an inverted card. This is the cold, cruel, meticulous person she encountered in an opposite of healing way that started her on a completely new type of journey. Do you think this card is interesting? Because it definitely, like, there's one where it's fully light, and there's one where it's fully dark. And the one, it's interesting, the dragonfly is going down the lit path. The moth is, no, sorry, it's not a moth, it's a butterfly, is going down the dark path, which actually normally the dragonfly would be out at twilight and the butterfly would be out in the sun. And so it's sort of like, hey, you're taking a path that you're not built for. Now, not that the other side is not going to be wonderful, but in some ways, in making the choices she did to ignore her gut, it's sort of like some of these decisions sort of went against the grain of at least part of, what she'd been hoping for in her life. Hold on here a second. Pull these up. I don't know what chat says. But so, from the very beginning, he's way off. I don't think anybody needs to, needed cards to say that. And he was very, very attracted to her, but also didn't that wasn't the deciding factor for, okay, there's some prey for me. It was the deciding factor was she's hot and perceived to be by him weak and easy. And um, so really early on, right around the time that she had said, to herself, or I don't know if she spoke to other people, I'll ask that question, but um, right around that time where she was like, this is not going to ruin my good time. I am in love. I'm not going to let this get to me, which I would take that to mean more than one interaction, right? Because why would she be even having to think about it, letting it mess up anything? Um, if it was just a random person that acted weird on the street once. So something was going on enough for her to have to make the decision or choose to make the decision, you know, I'm not going to let this I'm not going to let this interfere. I'm blissfully happy and I don't care. But that right around like that time, whether it is something that she somehow voiced to him or said to someone else, I don't know what her social media was like, right? I don't know if she was telling some of this story and she was like, and I'm like, screw it, I don't care, I'm in love. But anyway, this desire and death card, that's when that turns up. Like it's like, basically he made the decision then. And then there were a lot of other offerings energetically made to her where it was like, at least energetically, maybe socially, I'm not sure, where it was like, hey, you need to take this seriously. Hey, hey. Um, and she just kept choosing not to. And she didn't even want to change her like schedule. Now, I think I heard somebody say at some point she had been to the trail earlier in the day as well, and with her new fella. But then, and I don't know if somebody else can verify this, but this is something like I remember hearing that she'd been to the trail earlier that day and technically done her exercising, and still chose to go back later, which was, I guess, more close to her like normal time, because she was like, oh no, no, just because I did that socially doesn't mean I'm changing, my workout schedule. You don't look this good, you know, um, not, sticking to the plan, basically. Um, and so I don't know if anyone else remembers hearing that on some sort of social platform or other, but she had been to the park with her fella earlier that day based on what was said. Let's see. Let's see here. He was very bold. Anything like before. Okay. So this was interesting, and those cards are definitely, I think, very strong visuals. I understand like why she wanted to do that. Now I'm asking her permission to do. Can I do clarifiers using this, Rachel? Okay, thank you. Um, they're just much faster. I'm more used to reading them. That other deck was interesting, and I might use it. Like, might take your advice and use it for crime. I need to powder them though, because they're really like sticky from being like shiny laminate type things. Um, so I think I'm gonna ask first if this is someone she knew socially, like how long. Okay, like let's see. I guess we're going to ask, how did you, can you please show me using the cards how you met this person and sort of give me just a general overview of like sort of how you met, how you interacted, like how you first came across each other, how you interacted, and maybe if we can somehow signify length, but I'll ask it every time we drop cards. I'll specify and say this particular pull is going to be for this question. He's very bold. He attacked a young girl in a LADNA in 2 places. Rachel Morin, yeah. Um, okay. So this first one, Miss Rachel, and all the guides, angels, archangels, and ascended masters, please. Um, can you please show me how you first met this person? Can you please show me using these cards? Can you please show me how you first met this person? Can you please show me how you first met this person? Can you please show me how you first met this person? Can you please show me how you first met this person? Okay, can you please show me how you first met this person? Okay, oh, flippity flippity. If they're like this. Is that right? Yeah, okay. Creativity, leader, focus. And then this is upheaval, conflict, loss. First, this person. Creativity, leader, focus, inverted. Upheaval, conflict, loss. You met this person at a time where you were unfocused, at a time during upheaval, conflict, and loss. Okay, can you please tell me more about how you met this first person, how you first encountered him, or person or people, I guess, technically. Can you please use the cards to show how you first encountered the offenders? I guess maybe I need to ask more specific questions. Can you show me where? Can you give me an indication of where you first met? Can you please show me where you first met?
Mm-hmm.
Use this as a loose interpretation. Can you show me where you first met? Okay. Can I have just a little more on where you first met, where you first met, where you first met, where you first met? Where? Where you first met, where you first met. Yeah, okay. I thought so. So, somewhere out socializing, like, but it's definitely a place that offers like alcoholic beverages. Is where she first met this person or people. Can you please show me? Um, can you show me? Was it just Was this just you meeting one person, or did you meet multiple people that were associated with him that day? Was it just him you met, or was he associated with people socializing that day? Actually, I want to ask a different question. Okay. Um, can you show me, was he connected to anyone you were socializing with that day? Okay. If I'm taking this literally, then how did he know them? Okay, actually, I'm going to pause. I have better cards for that. So you met socializing. Okay. And through that. Okay. And can you show me um, and give me some indication of how long ago it was that you first met him? From the point at where you transitioned into non-physical, if you can show sort of the amount of time between meeting them and that point. If you can please do that. Okay, from a point that you last traveled to the point where you transition into non-physical. Okay. Just out of curiosity, did you meet him or them while you were traveling? Is there any way we can find out when she last traveled? Like, is there any indication of like on social media or um, let's see? Okay, so between the time you last traveled and when, okay, and when you first encountered them, you first encountered them. Um, is there any way for you to indicate how long ago that was? It was in winter. Okay, so this happened in August, right, y'all, or was it the end of July? Hello, anybody? Um, so it was winter. It was winter. Okay. I'll pull these two back in because I didn't understand them. So you met at a place where people were imbibing through this person, okay? And it was when you last traveled, and that was the time was when it was cold. This person, um, is there any way you can tell me? Did you know this person? How long did you know this person? Well, I'd really like to know if she traveled out of the country last. Like, to, I don't know. I feel like maybe a Hispanic, Spanish speaking country. Let's see. Um, are you saying that was it a friend of yours that introduced you, or someone that you met there? Weird. Interesting. I hate this as somebody who does like tarot, but it feels like she went on a like she met him somewhere where there was partying and she was imbibing and stuff. Um, and it was when she was traveling, and um, that was in the winter. But it feels like the person that introduced them was someone like that had given her some type of service on this trip. It almost looks like she got like a reading from them, like which as a reader right now it makes me feel sort of a certain way about it. Um, and yeah, and then somehow, yeah, I don't know if this person said, "Hey, do you want to come out? Like, do you have people that you're socializing with when you're here? Are you here with somebody? Because there's going to be, like something fun to do." And that was winter, so winter was probably, I don't know, stays cold through March at the latest, maybe. So between 8 and 5.5 months ago or something like that. Um, didn't see info regarding traveling. Okay. Icky feeling. What do you mean, icky feeling? Can you clarify icky feeling? Can you show me how close you were to the person that introduced you? Can you show me how close you were, just to clarify, to the person that that introduced you? Oh, well, how well did you know, or how close were you to the person that introduced you? It was the opposite of quiet and restful, so it was loud and partying. Okay. I feel like she traveled, maybe something to do with like one of her pursuits, like achievement. I don't know if she ever like went to any kind of thing where it's like, I don't know, where it was bodybuilding or something, where it was like you celebrate, hey, that I came here to be a bodybuilding model, or a gym model, health model. I'm not sure what they call them. Um, and encountered someone who seemed like an honest person in a setting where you didn't expect to find many honest people. So you were, somewhere where you knew people were sort of rolling deep on big things. Um, Okay, let's see. Spring break time. Yeah, that's a good question. Might use the rods for those questions. Where's my little handmade deck that just talks about who people are to other people? Where are you? Here you go. Okay. I don't know if these can. Come on. Okay. So I'd asked initially where you met. Okay. And who introduced you. This let's ask for clarification using these cards. Who introduced you? Who introduced you? Please show us who introduced you. Twisted love, temporary or permanent villain, more harmful than helpful. Twisted, somebody that appears to love you but doesn't. Now, is that him or them? Can you show me who? Give me more details. Okay. More details on the person that introduced you. Okay. Yes, I'll ask that with rods because that is a good idea to ask. Did anybody introduce you or did he introduce himself? But right now, can you just please give me any clarifiers on who introduced you using these cards? A parent-teen relationship. Can you show me anything else about the person that introduced you? Okay, girlfriend. Is it a girlfriend of one of your teenagers? A friend of one of your teenagers? Um, keep getting like astrological signs, but in this case, we wouldn't know this stuff. A sexual arrangement. Okay. Twisted love, temporary or permanent. Parent teen relationship, girlfriend, sexual arrangement. So I'm trying to clarify, is this were you hooking up with the person that introduced you guys? Or were they hooking up? It can answer that with rods. Okay, that goes with this. We'll just leave this here. Okay. Let's try this. Who did you travel there with? Who went with you on your travels? Matriarch, family queen. Who else? That could be you or your mama. Preteen. Grandmother, grandfather. Okay, so you traveled somewhere to take one of your kiddos to visit their family. That's what I'm getting. And decided to stay there to socialize. Is that what this is? Seems not relaxing. Whose hard work were you celebrating? Hmm. Okay. So the impression I'm getting is she traveled to take one of her kiddos to visit their family, and then something that came up here as a clarifier said it's a vacancy. It's a card that says vacancy leaves their family spot vacant. So I would interpret that as it was a time where she was taking one of her kiddos to visit family, and it was of some one of the fathers that was not um, as involved. Can you show me using this deck we made for you? Can you show me what kid went with you, or whose father, or both? Let's ask first, what kid went with you? Can you tell me what kid were you taking to visit their family? Which of your children? Okay. Okay, so it was with I'd be curious if we could ever find out their ages, but it was um at least we don't know like how many of the kids go to which dad or whatever, but um this has something to do with the child whose initial is F, and her mom, which is Rachel, going to visit family of of the little child, um, because the patriarch there isn't involved really, and so this was a way to see grandparents and stuff. Um, but when I was asking about going to see family, DNA guy and DNA guy's friends popped up. So now I'm wondering if all of the babies' families live in Maryland or if they live elsewhere. And then if how will we find out? Okay, we'll use this one. Um, who who is in this family connects to DNA guy and DNA guy's friends? A grown up, okay. A grown up in the family is connected to DNA guy and DNA guy's friends. Okay, what grown up? Okay. What are all these? So a gay gentleman in the in that side of the kiddo's family is somebody that socializes. I don't know how seriously with DNA guy and DNA guy's friends. Let's see what else is in this deck. Um, Using this deck, um, that's so crazy because I thought this woman in one of these cards, I thought, well, there's this person that like did the tarot readings. There's Rachel, and this looks like a drag queen, right? And it's a beautiful lady, but for some reason I was like, it looks like a drag queen. Um, can I please know how is this lady that I'm gonna in my head call the tarot lady, how's this lady connected to? Let's first ask about the gay gentleman. How is this lady connected to the gay gentleman? Okay, I'm gonna ask, how is this lady connected to the DNA guy? How is this tarot lady connected to the DNA guy? Just open relationship, partner knows. This DNA guy, right? And how, again, is that person related to the gay gentleman? This person. I keep getting all these astrological cards. It's like that would be useful once we figure out other stuff. But
Can I'm sorry, I like forgot I can talk. Um, People are asking. There was DNA found in Los Angeles in March.
hmm
Was
oh,
she in
March. Yeah,
Los Angeles?
that's a wonderful question.
The
I,
other thing is also on her travel list of places she liked to go that was in her sister's article or the obituary. I don't remember which one, that she liked to go to Miami as well,
okay.
which would be another warm spot when it's cold, you know.
Yes. Okay. We'll ask those here really quickly with the rods. I spilled some cards, so I'm just looking
Okay.
for the
Those are
last.
just kind of what we're knocking around out here.
No, that's a good. Those are good knocking arounds. You guys are good at knocking each other. Okay. All right. I think I'm stopping. Um, because I feel like we've got enough to go on with rods at least. Okay. So she met this person, the DNA guy, right? At some sort of, as the kids say, turn up, right? Party. And hold on a second here. Things are falling over. Um, so at some sort of turn up, but it was traveling after having traveled to there. Um, she met during this traveling. She met this woman, right? And I was like, okay, this woman was originally like the connection to DNA guy, right? But it was like, well, how did you get connected to her, right? So, how is that? How is she connected to the the family? Okay, so there's a gay gentleman. Basically, what these cards just said, okay, is there's a gay gentleman that is connected to that part of the kiddo's family, the kiddo that starts with F, at least according to these cards, right?
Yes.
Um, and I don't know if he is just like a family friend or if he's actually a family member or whatever. But he can't. He's got to be like either a friend or more distant than just like in the immediate family because this woman that introduces her to DNA Guy and DNA Guy's friends um, is a sibling to the gay guy. Sibling relationship. When I said, how are the gay guy and this tarot lady, I'm loosely calling tarot lady, related? They're siblings. And then how was the tarot lady and the DNA guy related? And it's that they're in an open relationship or an open arrangement. And also, the other thing that I had asked was, to tell me originally, I had asked, what do we know about this tarot lady, right? Um, and it talked about twisted love, temporary or permanent, and then sexual arrangement and girlfriend. So basically, it was saying this tarot lady is in a twisted, open, because it said it twice, sexual arrangement and open relationship, partner knows, right? Twisted love, temporary or permanent, girlfriend in a sexual arrangement, open relationship with DNA guy. So, um, the gay guy who's connected to the family was like, let's go. Basically, it sounds like it's like, let's go out, let's go out since, she's visiting the family. I'll take you out. Like, we'll have a good time. So they go out, and first she meets this girl because she's like a friend of the gay fella. And um, then through her, she meets DNA guy and his friends, just, socially out and about. And I feel like um, the visit partially was to the grandparents, right? Was to sell it. It was part of the reason. It was like the kiddo had some kind of achievement, some sort of like academic achievement, and part of this celebration is they got together, right? And I don't know how far away it is. Like, we can ask probably using the rods, right? But it's far enough away, that she like didn't go home for the night. Um,
Yeah, I guess the location, is it near her home? Is it in LA? Is it in Miami? You know what
yeah,
I mean?
yeah, we're
Those
gonna
are,
do rods. It
yeah.
can't be too near home because otherwise she wouldn't have had to like stay um, the night, right? Or have other people say, "Well, we'll show you around," because she would live there.
Yeah.
So it's far enough away. It was on a trip, but I didn't expect it. Like, I thought it was going to be like one of her just like fun trips that they talked about
Yeah.
and talked about loving, but it's more like it has a trip to visit. To take so and so to see more of her family. Okay, let's get out the rods because
Yeah,
so
because is that 18-year-old graduated? Was that
I don't know, and I don't even know if she's F.
correct? But
F
I
turned
mean,
up as a preteen.
F is a preteen.
That's what it says. That
Okay.
doesn't have it perfect, but that's the cards that dropped for F.
Okay.
Um,
That's fine.
and I mean, who knows? I guess also this achievement, right? Because, like, okay, when I'd asked details about the trip, right, it was, um, sort of a tense trip for mom. Like, not horrible, right? But it just sort of like, when you go to in laws that aren't even really your in laws,
Yeah.
you're just not really comfortable. But kiddo did something great. So, and we needed to visit family. And um, that seems like it's something that happened in the winter, too. Um, and so then at this basically drinking place, they encountered each other. So now the question is, like, how far away was that?
Yeah.
Um, let's see. Let's see what people are saying.
Go way
Wait.
back.
Yeah, sales award event. Hold on. Actually, I guess before I read all this, I could just do the rods since we're going so long. But um, oh, sorry. Yeah, I see it. The gay family member, I don't know if they're a family member or like a godfather, because if she's the sister, then she would be their family too, right? If
Right.
she's
That's what
a
I
gay
was
man,
just thinking.
unless, unless it is like they have one of the, like, it's by marriage, right? And the gay man is married into the family, to another gay man. And so this is basically, this is his sister, and his partner's sister-in-law, right? That could be one of the ways that, he is in that family without her being related to them. Or it could be a matter of, steps or halves, right? This is my half sister by another family person
Yeah.
who grew up elsewhere. But so anyway, they are siblings. I don't know if you remember, Kat, but like from the beginning, I was like, "There's a brother sister." Like I kept saying, I really feel like it's a brother sister duo in some capacity
Yes,
or
yes,
other.
yes, you did.
Um, and I was like, I don't know, like if the sister's really like upset about anything, or if she just introduced them, or if she was like on OF herself and was like, look at this girl, she keeps beating my stats, and she was just only being like a little bit snippy, but then showed him Rachel, and he got obsessed, right? And then used the idea, you wronged my sister in some way, to be pretend angry when really he was obsessed. I'm not sure. But like I kept talking about brother and sister
Yeah, you did.
all the time. Now, technically, it doesn't appear that she is DNA Guy's sister, although, like, just because Rachel knew the gay guy and went out with the sister and they met up, and it says that they were in an open relationship, right? But I guess she technically could have been in an open relationship with one of DNA friends, and DNA Guy could be the other brother. But that connects so directly into some family members that seems too obvious. So it's more likely that they are just the gay gentleman. Um, that's just his sister and her part-time F buddy or whatever. But here, okay, so I'm gonna. Okay, so if. Yeah, so see, Baker, like from the beginning, like I was like, I haven't done any readings or all, but I feel like a sister somehow showed this guy. I kept saying a sister showed him this girl, whether she was just being silly, or whether it was an actual friend of hers, or whether she was like, look at this she keeps beating my stats online, and then he got obsessed with her in a different way. Um, but I kept saying sister, but I guess technically it would be a sister of a family member, so that's not that far off. Okay, anyway, so I'm gonna turn.
You- You're snarling my brain. Okay.
Right. Well, I'm just saying, like, I
No,
moved
you're
the
good.
conjugation, right? If it was like I kept going, oh, it's like a brother and sister, and it's like, well, no, it's a sister, right? It's a brother and sister that are the connectors to this perpetrator, rather than being the perpetrator,
Or being a brother or sister to the perpetrator.
right?
Gotcha.
Okay, so here, okay, we're gonna do rods. I've got to face away from the camera though, so okay, everything's messy. There's no place to turn this. Let's turn
You're
it this way.
fine.
We'll turn it this way. And then we'll turn this way for the rods. That'll be the best.
Because you sleep with your box of 9,000 decks of cards.
No, I do not. They come over here for fun times
Ah,
like these. Okay, hold on here. Do this so we can see the end of the rods. can't even see them, can you? Okay, I think they're enough in the frame, right?
Yes.
Okay. Okay. So, Kat, if you see anything, like we got to stay in some kind of order, but like if you see questions that are pertinent, let me know because I can't see what's going on over there. Okay, so our first question is, um, can we please? I can't tell who's tapped in. Hold on a second. Just focused on other things. Can I please have someone tap in? Thank you. You guys are so good. We're getting a little wandery. Okay. Now, just I know there's a lot of people's energy interested in this. Can we please let me filter the questions through so that we're not answering the thoughts of other people? Is that okay? Yes. Okay. I feel like this is human spiritual energy. Is that accurate? Yes. Am I able to work with an angel or a guide on this at this time? Is that a possibility? I don't want to be insulting to you. Oh my gosh, I'm so rude. Is this Rachel? Hi.
The
Uh,
rods are almost out of view.
in what way?
The camera needs to go up.
Okay.
I'm sorry, maybe about 6 inches. There
Oh,
you go.
that.
Well, let's see where you hold them. That's better.
Okay.
Like the
Okay.
timer was right over them.
Okay. Okay. So let's ask a couple of the important initiation questions first. Um, do you love, respect, and honor God's source? Yes. Thank you. Can you please show me what a no answer looks like when we use the rods? Thank you. Just to be silly and clarify, can you please show me what a yes answer is when we use these rods? Okay, thank you. Okay. Have my guides, archangels, and angels given you permission to use these rods at this time? I can only assume yes. Have your guides, angels, archangels, and ascended masters given you permission to use these rods at this time? Okay. To clarify, this is human spirit energy, correct? Ooh, girl, it got me tingling. Just want to verify one more time because. Ooh, let me take a deep breath. Is there a guide or an angel nearby where they could support you energetically instead of using me? Okay. Can I please ask that you connect to them energetically so that we can be using their energy instead of mine in the operation of this situation? Thank you. I'm sorry. I'm not trying to be difficult. Okay, I'm going to ask the loaded question again because I just can't believe it. I thought it was going to be angels for sure. Is this Rachel Morin operating these rods? Thank you. Um, just again, this is just me doing what I do with the rods. Is this um, Marilyn Monroe operating these rods? Thank you. This is Betty Davis operating these rods. Is this Shanann Watts operating these rods? Is this Rachel Morin operating these rods? Thank you, Rachel, for jumping through all those hoops. Thank you. I'm going to assume that we're allowed to ask questions about this since you're the one operating the rods. Is that fair? Thank you. Okay. So cards are not perfect, and certainly I am very imperfect. So the first reading where we were talking, it was talking about you encountering him and him saying things to you and you sort of blowing them off, and even though your gut was saying to be afraid. Does that feel like a fair enough assessment at this point? Yes. Okay,
Big
that's it.
yes.
Um, and when you were having all of these encounters with him, were they all in person? No, I didn't think so. Okay. And um, were a fair number of them on the internet? That's a small yes. Okay. Were a few of them on the internet? Yeah. Okay. Were there a bunch of them by like text or something? Yes. Okay. Um, so he had your phone number somehow. Yes. Okay. Um, and using the rods to count, like pulling them out and pushing them back in, would be counting to one. Can you show me how many weeks you saw him in person leading up to, like, how many weeks was he in your town leading up to you getting killed? One, two, 2.5. Okay. So let me clarify that again, Rachel. Did he come to your town in the few weeks leading up to what happened? Yes. Okay. Did you invite him to your town? No. Did someone else he knew invite him to town? No. Did someone else he knows live in that town? It's a small yes. Okay. Does he know them super well? No. But he knows them enough to ask, "Hey, can I crash on your couch?" Yeah, sort of. Okay. Did he come into town intentionally to try and speak or talk to you?
That's a yes.
Did he come into town for any reason other than trying to visit with you, to your knowledge? No. When you had first met him, did you guys like hook up in any way? Small yes. So like, okay, when you very first met him, did you guys flirt? Yeah, sort of. Did you guys like dance or something? Yeah, okay. Did you guys make out? No. Did you guys have sex? No. Okay, so you were out socializing with other people and he turned up there and you guys like danced and talked to each other. Yes. And then had you seen him before that night going out to party or whatever? No. So you were introduced to him that night when you were out at like a club or bar or something? Yes. Okay. Now, um, it seemed like you were introduced to him and his friends. Did he have friends there too? Yes. Okay. And did they, um, well, first of all, were you there? Did you go out that night with some sort of gay friend or family member? Yes. Um, and then through that gay friend or family member, did you meet their sister, the gay, let me clarify. Did you meet the gay man's sister? Yes. Is she the one that knew the DNA man? Yes. Were they in some, was she a sister to the DNA man? No. Was she in some type of sexual relationship to the DNA man? Yes. Okay. When you were traveling on this occasion, were you outside of the state of Maryland? Yes. Okay. Um,
And
and
that's the trip where F's family member, F went to visit a family member.
when you guys went on this place outside of Maryland, was it to visit some of the extended family of one of your children? Yes. Was there any other reason for that trip aside from that? No. Okay. I'm sorry. Can we lean on the guides or the angels for energy? I've been going a while, and they can give you so much better than I can. And I know it's sort of confusing because just through the rods we exchange so much energy. So I don't. Please don't think anything like I think you're being rude or anything like that. I just need you to try and lean on them for energetic support. Can you do that? Thank you. I'm sorry. Um, so you did, in fact, take this trip primarily so that one of your children could visit parts of their family. Okay, that was sort of a partial yes. Did you did you take this trip for reasons that didn't have anything to do with your kid? No. Okay. Did you take this trip so that your kid could do some sort of activity? Oh, yes. Okay. And then, but when they were doing this activity, did they have some of the family from their paternal side visit or participate? Yes. Okay. Now, did those people live in the same place that you traveled to? No. Okay, that's why we're getting confused things. Okay, so um, she was going somewhere because she was doing some sort of, your daughter was doing some sort of activity. Yes, that's a big yes. And when you guys both went, some of her dad's family came out to meet you guys. Yes. Is that because you were going to a place that was pretty close to where they lived anyway? Yeah. Okay. Um, where you went, was it like less than an hour away from where they lived? Yes. Okay. So it you weren't going exclusively to visit family, but it was a really convenient way to get a visit in as well. Yes. Okay. So was this something for the kiddos' school? Yes. Was it, I'm going to ask a multiple part question. Was it for like dancing school or regular school, etc.? So was this something for dancing school? No. Was this something for Hebrew school? No. Was this something for some type of religious event? No. Was this something to do with academics? Yes. Okay. Okay. Um, and you said it is for sure outside of the state of Maryland. Yes. And this trip happened in the wintertime. Is that true? Okay. And um, wherever you guys went, in the wintertime, did that place experience winter? Like, did they get snow sometimes and was it cold and all that stuff? Oh, big, yes. Okay. So, was this place like, was this place on the West Coast? No. I'll ask again more specifically, even though you just answered. Was this in LA? No. Okay. Was this in Miami? No.
Yeah, because she mentioned snow.
Yeah. Was this less Like, was this like one state? Like, do you share a board? Does Maryland share a border with this state? Yes.
Pennsylvania. It's like Ma Pa.
Okay. Was this a visit to Pennsylvania? Yes. Was this trip more than like a 4 hour drive from home? Okay, that's a sort of yes. Was this trip like an hour drive from home? Nope. Was it a 2 hour drive from home? No. Was it a 3 hour drive from home? Okay. Was it a 4 hour drive from home? Okay, that these answers are confusing me. Are you getting tired? Okay. What are important questions? She's getting tired of using her energy.
Let me look. Somebody see what we've posted.
Because I'm going to ask a guide to take over, but oh, she's making me itch all over. You got my chi going, girl. Thank you for being here. While we're waiting, um, was this the first time that you had met this girl that was the sister of the gay man? Yes. Okay. And what was the stuff about like high priestess and stuff like that? Did she like give you a tarot reading? Yes. Like, was it professional and did she like charge for it and stuff? No. So like it's when you guys all hung out, she was like, "Let me read your cards." Basically, okay. And then when you guys went out, did you go to like a bar? Okay. Was it a nightclub with dancing also? Oh yeah, okay. And um when when you were there, that's when you ran into DNA guy and his friends, correct? And just to clarify one more time, had you run into or met him in any capacity before them? No. Do we have dominant questions?
Um, no, I think we covered. You covered a lot of them. So it's the DNA guy's sister.
No. It's the gay. Let's clarify. So this is for one of your children's family, right? You were socializing with them? Yes. And you brought her with you because the trip was because of her? Okay. And one of the people in her extended family on that side is a gay male, is that correct? Okay. And the gay male,
Has a sister.
was that his sister that did the tarot readings? Yes. Okay.
Gotcha.
And then his sister, did she know the DNA guy because they are also related? No. Did she know the DNA guy because they had a sex arrangement, like a F buddy situation? Yes. Um, Anything else before I drop the rods for a minute and then ask for guides?
No.
Okay. Rachel, you did really well with the rods. When I bring them back up, though, I'm going to ask for guides just for you and I both. We're both tired. Is there anything that, as of right now, I should have asked you, but I haven't? Yes. Okay. Is there any way you can tell me? Okay. So let me ask you this. When you guys were all out and about that night, did you engage in any kind of sexual activity with the two of them? Okay, a little bit. Was it, like you said, you danced with him on the dance floor, is that correct? Yes. Okay. and you flirted with him. Is that correct? Yes. Okay. Um, did you make out with him? No. Did you hook up with him? No. Okay. In regards to her, did you flirt with her? Oh, you were wait, okay. Um, did you dance with her? Yeah. Um, oh, okay. Did you dance with her? Did you flirt with her? Did you make out with her? Okay. Did you hook up with her a little bit? So you had some sort of. Did you go when you hooked up with her? Did you guys go to another location to do that? Yes. And when you hooked up with her, was he present when you guys did that? That's really tiny, yes. So I'm not sure what that means. When you hooked up with her, was it just you and her alone? No. When you hooked up with her, was he watching? Okay. When you hooked up with her, was he directly involved in touching you sexually in any way? No. Okay. So you met them out, you guys flirted, and you sort of went to another location with them to have a sort of three-way, but it was mostly with her. Yeah. And so you sort of thought he was letting her explore certain aspects of herself, and that you were a safe choice for him. Sort of. Did you find him scary or super freaky in any way at that time? No. Did he express jealousy that you were with his girl? Yes. That's pretty mild. Did he express anger afterwards that you were with his girl? Very little, if any. Okay. And then, um, did he express frustration that you only wanted to hook up with her? Yes. Did he express that frustration that night when that stuff was happening? No. So afterwards, he expressed that he felt left out and he wanted to hook up with you. Yes. Okay.
Oh my
And
goodness.
what?
No, just how tangled it is, Yeah.
Well, I mean, if you recall earlier, I was like, I don't know why I'm getting like swingy vibes. Do you remember
No,
that?
no, no. You made it all clear. No, I'm just yeah. You've made it clear.
But I mean, that was just you and me hours ago. Like, is what I'm saying. I don't think I
Yeah.
said anything about swinging on this live. But I kept talking about if I got swingy vibes. Um, had you one more time to clarify? Had you ever met that woman before? No. Had you ever met DNA guy before then? No. Okay, when you left from that encounter, did you anticipate ever hooking up with them again potentially? Maybe. Okay. During that trip, did you ever hook up again with them sexually? No. During that trip, did you ever hook up again with them socially? Was it like a really short, like weekend trip? Yeah, okay, that's sort of what I thought as well. And then, um, is this hookup like were you dating someone else when this hookup took place? No. Okay, so you were fully like free to do whatever. Yeah. Okay. And um, while this was happening, was your daughter like staying with and visiting family? Yeah. Okay, just to double, triple, quadruple verify now. Um, even though it doesn't seem like gay guy and he are related. Is DNA guy, is he is he the father of the child you took there? No. Okay, I didn't think so. I just wanted to clarify. Is the gentleman who now is gay, is he the father of the child you took there? No. Is he the brother of the guy who's the dad? No. Is he a blood relative of the people in that family? Yes, but weak, yes. Does that mean he's like a distant cousin in some capacity or other? Distant is the wrong word. Okay. Is he a cousin? Okay. Thank you. I shouldn't have put all those extra words. Um, so, but you didn't intend to hook up with them. You thought maybe, but then you didn't have time. So, did you give your number to the woman before you guys parted ways? Yes. Did you give your number to DNA guy before you guys parted ways? No. Did DNA guy contact you through that number after the events? Yes. Did the girl contact you a lot through that number? No. Okay. Um, when DNA guy was contacting you through that number, was he trying to charm you? Yes. Was he trying to arrange a meetup? It's only a tiny yes. Was he trying to get you to do things for him online? Yes. Was he expressing that he was angry at that point later on that you had touched his girlfriend? Yes. And was that primarily because he was jealous because you hadn't touched him? Yes. Okay. Um, and so you said it was about 2 weeks before you transitioned into non physical that you believe he came into town where you live. Is that true? Yeah. Now, based on what you know now from being on the other side, did this transpire before he assaulted that person in Los Angeles? No. So this transpired. When did that happen? Let's clarify here. Because you were talking about snow, is that right? Now, when I said, can it snow there? You said yes. When you were visiting there, was there snow there? No. Okay. And from what you understand, when he assaulted that young girl, that was before you met him? Is that what you're saying? Yes. I'm not sure when he assaulted that girl.
Um, Joe had it down like March.
Okay. Um, so does DNA guy's family live where you went to visit? Let me. DNA guy, does he live in Pennsylvania? Does he live in Los Angeles? Does he have a permanent place of residence? No. Okay. Does he was he staying with friends when he was in Pennsylvania? Sort of. Was he staying with that girl when he was in Pennsylvania? Sort of. Okay, I think our energy is dying. Okay, so we're going to end for now. Rachel, thank you so much. That was a lot more information than I thought we would get ever. And of course, we'll probably try and do maybe another video where it's not a live, where we try and verify more of this information that we just learned. Um, and hold on here, we're going to turn the camera off. Okay. Archangels, angels, guides, and ascended masters, thank you for the use of this tool. Thank you for helping Rachel and me. Ordinarily, I'd ask to continue, but I think we have a pretty solid base, way more solid than we were anticipating. And she hasn't even gotten to talk about before and after. And do clarifiers, but it's getting late and everyone's exhausted. So probably tomorrow I will do, like, if Kat's free, like a quietly non-public recorded continuation of this stuff so that we can have
Sure.
a bunch of information on her, maybe like Joe and Kat or something, and so that we have just like a round robin scenario. So those that are still here or that are listening later on, if you have questions to ask about this situation, about anything that was discussed at this point or clarifiers, please,
Text them.
yeah, leave them in the, comment them in the, under this video. I may crop this video and put the reading for this video in a separate video. It might sound like it's a live. It won't be a live. It'll just be a cropped version of this so that we don't